This is insane.
My wife would not allow this in her house.
Hey everyone, today we're going to check out citrus being grown in the high mountains of Utah. We're here in Ogden, and Chad, the owner of the farms, we're going to see 3 in total today. He's growing fruit trees in the middle of what looks like a suburb. It's just so impressive. And temperature right outside right now is a comfortable 30 degrees. So that is -2 Celsius. So we're pretty much freezing. So let's check it out. All right, everybody, we're here today with Chad Mitchell. He's going to give us a tour of his amazing farms growing citrus in the middle of winter.
This farm is original 1850s property in Ogden. The pioneers actually farmed on this. And so what we've done is we bought this property, and we were very lucky to get it with water shares because there's not very many properties left. This was all under weeds and grass. And what we did is over the last 10 years, we've had a wood chip company, Ernesto's Tree Service, thank you out there, bring in wood chips, hundreds and hundreds of loads. We've actually raised the property line up feet, and you gotta see the soil. It is so beautiful.
So here we have, I see a lot of peaches and plums.
All of these are really, really rare kind of peaches. We have things like Florida Prince, we have Early Treat, we have a peach that comes on here. At the same time, apricots come on. In fact, even earlier. It's insane. It's a little peach, but it's really, really sweet.
So how old are most of these trees here?
So we bought the property in 2010. Most of the trees are only 3 to 5 years old, believe it or not. You plant them and they grow within 2 years bearing, and full bearing in 3 years. This property has 6 feet of topsoil. That's what they told us when they dug the trees out that were on this property. This property used to be big trees. Now it's all cleaned out and it looks really, really nice.
And so you've been kind of doing the Garden of Eden wood chips?
Yeah.
Stacking them?
So there's an area that we're gonna see that's 5 feet deep. So I need some requests out there what to plant in my 5-foot deep wood chip patch. We also build mountains around the greenhouses, and on those mountains we can also plant. What should we plant on the mountains?
So this is your magic right here?
When we had a lot of snow a week ago, this is like a volcano that's always putting out steam. The snow melted off the top of this really quick, and the rest of it was covered with snow. These wood chip piles did not have any snow on. So if you take a look that way, we put wood chips around the greenhouses. Plus we can plant on the wood chip piles on the greenhouses. So you can actually make the greenhouse a garden as well. It's weird stuff. I should call myself the mad scientist farmer. Take a look at the soil. Notice the ground is frozen and we can actually work the ground. It's never too wet, so we can always plant. I could plant in this right now. So the water actually comes through here, this main ditch, and it comes up through the street. It actually fills these ditches up. Then they go down the side. It's automatic. And we can actually just stand back and watch the water flow. This thing is pretty much a no-work, set it and forget it farm. We don't have to weed anymore. We don't have to water very much. We don't have to till ever again. I can spend my time at the farmer's market and not so much time having to farm. So here's kind of where the wood chips are really high. Up here, the wood chips are 5 feet deep. Take a look, we're up high right now. And so there's a lot of cool things and ideas that I got to figure out about planting, and maybe even mushrooms.
All right, so here we're gonna check out the first citrus greenhouse. It's pretty amazing. Let's see what we got.
There are no services whatsoever on this property. The only service we have is a water share in the middle of summer. There are no other services. If we open this up and take a look, right at the entrance of the door, we have a surprise. It's unbelievable. Take a look inside, guys.
Wow. These are oranges?
We have pomelos, grapefruit right there. We have tangelos on the side. We have blood orange trees. We have kumquat trees. Some of the trees produce a lot. Some of them do not produce. They're really, really fussy little trees. But they're really, really healthy, and they're ready to go. They're going to bloom in about 2 weeks, and we are excited to see what they produce for next year. These are pomelo grapefruits. When it gets really cold, they fall off the tree, so we have to keep our eyes out and hope they don't fall off. These are blood orange trees right here, full size. Really cool that we notice at the very top where it gets really cold in a greenhouse. This greenhouse is so warm, none of the leaves freeze or anything. So we're doing something right here. Never had thermal combustion or anything. We've been 107 degrees, so this is really, really cool stuff.
Wow, so the secret to all this is you have thermal storage with water.
Yes.
And then you have the wood chips producing the heat. Do you have them in between the layers?
We do, and we have bags of leaves and pretty much heating this with green waste garbage. This is really weird stuff, folks.
So you were saying you don't even buy the greenhouse plastic.
We go around to nurseries. They take their greenhouse plastic off about every 5 years. It gets a little rip in it, and they'll bunch it up for the farmers, and they'll sell it to us really cheap, or they'll give it to us. Check your local greenhouses. If there's one little rip in it, we'll get a couple sheets, we'll double it up, and there's never going to be a rip in the same spot. So it's really cost effective. When this greenhouse plastic starts to degrade, we just throw another layer on.
This is your kumquat?
Yes, and usually this is loaded with fruit, but
All these farm tours you're doing, everybody's eating.
that's right. All this has water in it. These coolers have water, everything. So I originally thought you needed a lot of water and thermal mass and everything to do this, and I learned, you'll see in Syracuse that we don't have to do all of that. We can grow really good citrus without all the water mass, but this is really overdone. This is our warmest greenhouse. The tops of the greenhouse where it gets really cold, there's no freeze damage on the citrus.
This is insane. Chad gets about 5 bushels of citrus without adding any heat. I've had greenhouses before, and the whole time during winter, you're always worried about it freezing. This is just a fire and forget.
This is really, really cool. If we walk out in the garden here, I gotta show everybody this. We have this lemon spinach growing, and this is a perennial. It comes back every year. So our idea is we don't want to keep planting and planting. We want to have things that come back every year. This is really, really good. It's called French sorrel. The farmers markets, we call it lemon spinach, and it tastes really good. It tastes like lemon. A citrus burst in a leaf. It's really, really, really good. It's really good on pizza. Kids love it.
All right, everybody, we're on urban farm number 2.
This farm is interesting because it has the absolute worst soil of any of the farms that we farm on. It has only 18 inches of topsoil, but wait till you see what we've done with it. Let's go take a look out back. So we brought all these wood chips in and we've laid them down like we did at the first property. We did something kind of weird. We made volcano mounds around them. And so each tree has their own compost pile, which is really cool. And the trees took off. They put 4 feet of new growth on in 1 year. But as we walk on the wood chips, it's a lot like a sponge. We don't have to water that much. We don't have to till it all. And the weeding problem's pretty much gone. So like the first farm, we can kind of set it and forget it. In fact, I've had trees I haven't watered the whole season and they've survived. This is secondary water in the city. At the first property, we have the 6th highest water share in Ogden, so we're never going to lose water. Here we have secondary water, and they have quite a bit of restrictions here because it's a desert, and with all the new growth coming in, it even makes it worse. The water pressure is usually really bad, and so you have to figure out a time to water when nobody else is watering, or we don't have the water pressure to even do it. So this greenhouse has these big straw bells around it, as you can see. When we originally did this 10 years ago, we had 2 semi-truck loads of these big, huge straw bells. It was humongous, and the neighbors thought we were crazy. As the straw starts to decompose and we had a lot of wind out here, we actually put wood chips up around the straw. And so in the greenhouse, the straw is still decomposing, which is helping to heat it. And then we have these wood chips up around it that throw out steam as well. Let's take a look inside. And as we go inside, it is warm in here. And we not only have citrus, but we have strawberries growing. So this is kind of cool. We have multi-layer farming going on. We have the citrus up here. On the ground, we have the lemon spinach. In the middle part, we have strawberries. It's going to be a big strawberry patch. So as we go inside, we also have the donut peach trees, which are really big in here. Tons and tons of oranges on this tree. Blood orange tree next door. So lots of trees and lots of things growing in here. As we take a look down here, we have grapefruit. Some really nice Utah grown grapefruit right here. Lots and lots of oranges. Has some mandarin oranges. These trees are going to bloom. Some more big grapefruit right there. And our biggest grapefruit, of course, is right here. Guy's big. Take a look at the size of that. I didn't think I could grow grapefruit in Utah that big. As we continue on, these trees are all going to be in bloom in about 2 weeks. And lots of strawberry plants. The strawberries are going in bloom too.
Your donut peaches?
Yes, they're going to be in bloom in about a week or 2. So this thing's just going to brighten up. These citrus blooms smell really, really good. And so this whole thing's going to smell like we're in the middle of California. So strawberries, citrus, donut peaches, all blooming right now.
And so this one, compared to the other greenhouse, you have way less thermal mass, right?
Yeah, a lot less water mass. We have a lot more of the straw on the side, but a lot less of the water. Have these water jugs down here on the ground level because citrus like to bloom a lot, but they have a hard time holding the fruit. 99% of the fruit falls off the trees. This water keeps it cool so we can get better fruit set.
Gotcha. So you want it a little cool.
And so a high tunnel has a hard time holding up to all the straw and everything. And if I had to do it over again, I would have had some really good bracing with the straw. But we've built these shelves on the side and everything's holding together pretty good. Eventually an A-frame will be built and it'll just be a nice A-frame greenhouse inside here. And citrus is the easiest thing to grow here. It's as easy as radishes, believe it or not. All I have to do is water it once a week with a timer during the summer, fertilize it a little bit, and it does really well as long as it has a happy place to grow. So my goal with this is I want to produce fruit in the middle of Utah year-round. We have fruit during the summer. I want winter fruit. And so we have this, and then we have indoor strawberries, and they're just starting to produce. So the idea is fruit year-round, so we can actually make the lower 48 states productive. They can't produce anything during the winter. And so I want to make that productive, make it the bread belt that it should be all year. So we're not having to import food so much. We can be more self-sufficient.
So you can see this is crazy. We're in his second greenhouse, no additional heating. There's just citrus everywhere. You know, this is such abundance. A greenhouse like this is going to cost you $3,000 or less in today's money. You can put these in your backyard, not only get soil out of it as it decomposes the straw and wood chips, but you get amazing fruit at it, and you can keep this system going.
We had a lot of extra straw left over, so they built this fortress, and this is really cool. It's like we go inside a wallopini. And this is kind of the idea of the organic matter breaking down inside. We have leaves, we have compost, we have new citrus trees. We have one of the most tender trees you can possibly plant. We have some dragon fruit trees we just planted, and they're doing really well. We tried this 10 years ago and they died, but now we have them again and they're surviving and doing really well. So this is a really warm greenhouse. We have a lot of straw that's decomposing. We've had to put supports up because the straw is trying to fall down, but overall, I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right, so we're on urban farm number 3. Chad is going to continue the tour.
So in this farm, we have something really cool. We have an extra growing zone. We have the outdoor growing zone that goes from May to October. We have the greenhouse growing zone that almost goes year round. And we have an extra house that we own and we grow inside this house. We have an indoor growing area, and let's go take a look inside. Let's go in. So this lemon spinach that's planted here is 400 days old. We cut it every 2 weeks, and this has just been cut a few days ago. We can keep harvesting it for the winter farmers market. So this is the warmest zone. It's our home. This is my 20-year-old dog Jigs. He's been part of this farm almost ever since this began. Very important. So as we come in here, we have an oasis of indoor growing, and we have the very first, and take a look at the size of this strawberry, humongous Utah-grown strawberry. Take a look at that. We have blossoms, blooms, everything is starting to grow really, really well.
Here we are. We're going to try one of these delicious strawberries in-house. Whoa. Whoa. The flavor's insane.
We have these little cool things plugged in our outlets. This little thing plugged in takes care of a lot of our pests. We find these on Amazon. They have a really high sound pitch that the pests don't like. We always would have a lot of aphids in here, and now the aphid problem's gone down to pretty much nothing. The best growers are ones that grow in closets. So here we have AeroGardens, shelves of AeroGardens, and we're getting tomatoes. These are very, very productive tomatoes, the tiny Tims, and these are the yellow version, really, really productive. So even in our laundry room closet, I'm growing strawberries. And the best growers I know are the ones that can grow in the closet. Now that's not it. We also started transplants in here. So nobody lives in this house. Let's go take a look at the master bedroom. My wife would not allow this in her house. So I can start 4 flats at a time inside the house, and then I can put them out in the greenhouse. Start another 4 flats and keep rotating it around. These are tomato plants. They'll go out in the greenhouse later today. So all of this, I've killed the grass, and we're putting this whole entire thing to strawberries. The same strawberries that you saw inside the house. And so this is going to be a big strawberry field and a lot better than grass. I don't ever have to cut strawberries like I do the lawn. This is some really, really neat tomato cages. We put these on their side and we cover it with plastic. It makes a low tunnel. If you take a look inside, the broccoli looks really, really good. This is real cool too. As we head out into our garden, we see that we are in the middle of February and the whole entire garden is sprouting in greens. That's the lemon spinach. We cut it like the grass. It comes back every 7 days outside in the summer. Very profitable little crop. Let's go take a look in here. So when I originally did this, we experimented with little greenhouses. These are Harbor Freight tool greenhouses over here. And as we look, we can actually see the straw that we originally used right here. That's within the greenhouse itself. So the straw hasn't decomposed. And as we look in here, we're gonna see the most beautiful oranges you've ever seen. And so it's amazing you can do citrus in a little greenhouse too. All these coolers are filled with water. We have pots up there that we grow strawberries in, water system, drip irrigation. We turn the water on. Waters it really easy.
Look at the size of these.
This is what's amazing. As we look at the garden right out here, it's already green. We see the lemon spinaches coming up. We see the green onions. Everything is perennial. We like to plant things that come back every year. Now, this greenhouse we call our space capsule greenhouse. This greenhouse is the one that gives us tons of donut peaches in the summer. Let's take a look inside. Look how close our peach trees are to blooming. Probably in 1 week, these things are going to be blooming. I get bushels and bushels of peaches out of here. And so we have hundreds of strawberry plants in these pots.
What kind of strawberry plants? Do you know the name?
These are Albion.
So it's never bearing, right?
Yes. Day neutral, ever bearing. Lots more strawberry plants. And then this greenhouse is also warm enough to support citrus. So we have some brand new citrus trees, hundreds of strawberry plants.
How do you pollinate all these?
A lot of it self-pollinates, but I come in here with a paintbrush and I pollinate about 200 blooms on each of the citrus and the donut peach trees to guarantee a good crop. This greenhouse produces insane amounts of donut peaches and strawberries.
And you're first to market because
Yes.
these are ready in what, June?
These are ready in June, the strawberries even before that. And this greenhouse has a wall of grass clipping bags that we put in here. And we covered this up with plastic at night so the neighbors didn't see it. But this really got heated well with the grass clippings. So if you look through here, you can see some of the organic matter that we've had. And this is kind of what we were talking about, how we put it in between the greenhouse unit and the plastic. And there's the organic matter right through there. And then these were bags of grass clippings right here. One question you're all gonna have is, do I keep the plastic on year round? And the answer is yes. Because I mulch the greenhouses with this straw, it keeps it cooler in the summer. All we do is open the windows up, set it and forget it. One-man farmer that does all these farms. There's 2 others that we do as well. And I do not have time to take plastic down, do all this work. It is easy, simple. We leave the plastic on, use the windows. These greenhouses are on year-round. This is like a cave. This is like a pit house. And I do not know how to build doors, so I apologize. You're going to notice these ones are really cool still, and that's good. We want them to stay really cool. We don't want the greenhouses to have these big temperature swings. This one stays really cool, and so it's more like San Diego. Notice our transplants are doing really well. We have broccoli in here, we have strawberries, we have citrus up here. So just a little Harbor Freight tool greenhouse, water mass everywhere, and celery making a ground cover for us. And look at these blood orange trees, brand new little trees we planted in here. Lots of ground pots we'll put celery in and Swiss chard where it's cooler, and tomatoes and strawberries up there where it's warmer.
On average, would you say you're spending per greenhouse?
That one over there was only like $800. It's really, really inexpensive. I want everybody to be able to do this, have citrus orchards in their backyard, so we have more neighborhood farms and less neighborhood supermarkets.
So where can people find out more about you?
I'm on Facebook under Chads Midgley, ChadsMidgley, or on TikTok, the Rockstar Farmer Chad.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's tour. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So we'll put all the contact information for Chad. If you guys have questions, put them down below. Chad is going to view them all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.